Good afternoon to you. So just take us through what actually happened at court today.
Quite a short appearance, I must say, Xoli. In fact, it was a pre-trial hearing that we attended today in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court, and that is where we saw the state basically confirming to the court that it is ready to go to trial. It has around 15 witnesses lined up for that trial. It also told the magistrate that the mediation processes which took place before his appearance today were unsuccessful, and that is why we see the state basically confirming that they are ready to go. And we also saw Mcebo's lawyers telling the magistrate that they intended to actually bring an application to the courts in order to declare that the prosecution against Dlamini was illegal and in fact unconstitutional. And of course it says that the reasons for this being that the former NDPP, Sean Abrams, if you remember last year, had confirmed that he had met with officials at Luthuli House, which are the ANC's headquarters, regarding the issue around the fees must fall activists. And so the lawyers for Mcebo Dlamini telling the court that they believe the prosecution against Mcebo Dlamini is basically politically motivated. And we did speak to Dlamini prior to those proceedings. Let's just hear what he had to say.
Every time when we come to court prepared to go on trial, they always find ways of delaying tactics. Like you are seeing today, that a delaying tactic that they used is that the magistrate's term of office has elapsed. So he's not in a position to commence the trial at all, because the magistrate knew that his term of office is ending, but he set a date for today, and we came here prepared. Now, when we come here, we are told that the term of office of the magistrate is elapsing next month. Thus, not in a position to continue with the trial. Well, I am not intimidated and I am not deterred. Actually, I gather strength each and every day. They keep on doing this. And the support that we are receiving from young people and other formations like the bikers is some of those things that says we are touching nerves and we are touching lives. And that's what keeps us going. What I can say is that I am very strong as a buffalo bull.
I understand there was a mediation process. Why did it collapse? Why did it fail?
Come again?
The mediation process.
Well, as you know that after the long walk to union buildings, we had proposed quite a number of remedies. And part of those remedies was a TRC and mediation. Now, the prosecution doesn't give us reasons as to why they can't go on to mediation. In the response that they gave us was one-line sentence that there won't be mediation or it's denied. They are not telling us why. Now, look, these people don't have a case against me. They are abusing state machinery. Instead of prosecuting all these pastors and fake prophets who are molesting women left, right, and center, and people who are killing women in the township and everywhere else, they are using state machinery and state resources to prosecute and push a political vendetta. But because I am an activist and I understand that we are fighting a system, when you fight a status quo or when you fight a system, the system reacts, and this is the system reacting, and we are prepared for the reaction of the system. We are not angry with anyone. We understand the journey that we are in. We are truly liberating. This is now us liberating South Africa, because we achieved democracy, not freedom. So we are now dismantling the chains. We are doing what Mandela and our parents should have done. We are shaking the system. We can't today, 24 years into democracy, we are still being charged and prosecuted using apartheid laws. We are going to change those laws, and the constitution is going to be stretched at all costs. We are developing the law. We are making a law that will suit our generation. We are developing a law and a criminal justice that will be conducive for women and children and young activists. So I am not deterred with whatever shenanigans that they come with.
All right, so Mcebo Dlamini, interestingly, just as a last point I want to pick with you, he says that he appreciates the Justice Minister, Michael Masuta's intervention in as far as the imprisoned students are concerned. So question to you is, what resulted of those interventions by Michael Masuta? And what does Mcebo Dlamini mean when he says this case against him is politically motivated? Politically motivated by who or which organization?
I think it was quite interesting to hear that this prosecution is politically motivated, given the fact that the reasons given around that meeting with ANC officials, with the former NDPP, was in fact with the political party that he's affiliated to, which is the ANC. So I think Mcebo will have to divulge further exactly what he means by that, and we'll probably see it in court papers once they do file that application in order to declare his prosecution illegal and unconstitutional. But speaking around that intervention by the Justice Minister, Michael Masuta, in fact, he had stated that the separation of powers don't allow him in order to be able to basically give presidential pardons. That is the responsibility and mandate of the presidency. And so, in fact, what the Justice Ministry did was to assist students facing charges related to those Fees Must Fall Act protests to write letters to the NPA, basically saying that they shouldn't be prosecuted and that the charges should be dropped. And according to Mcebo Dlamini, that assistance has yielded some results, with some students having had their charges dropped. He says only him and a few other students are remaining, such as Masikane, and one student, in fact, who's currently serving an 8-year sentence at the moment regarding those Fees Must Fall protests. So, yes, welcoming that intervention, but still calling on the president to give those presidential pardons. But the issue around that is that there needs to be first an admission of guilt or wrongdoing in order for a presidential pardon to be given, which is something that Mcebo Dlamini is quite against, because he says that that would be admitting guilt for something, for a cause that they believe was worth fighting for, and one which basically was validated by the fact that the former President Jacob Zuma did announce fee-free higher education last year.
All right, Slindelo, Masikane, thank you very much for explaining that to us.